New Love. And it's 8, well, we're supposed to be starting at 8 p.m. It's 9 p.m, so we're very sorry about that. But as they say, it's better late than never. In the studio today, we have another inspiring guest. She's fiery, she's dynamic, she's saucy, she's, and she's very passionate about what she does. But before I introduce her, as I always do, and say to you guys, please follow us on YouTube, on Omega Live TV, subscribe so you get updates of Gold Diggers and also all the other shows that come on Omega Live TV. Hit that like button right now on Facebook so you also get updates of everything that's going on Omega Live TV. Omega Live TV is powered by Omega House Multimedia Company, which is situated in North London, Seven Sisters on West Green Road. Their number is 0208 581 8794, and they are there to cater for all your multimedia needs: booklets, brochures, covering of events and parties, funerals, you know how it goes. So yes, as I said, guys, we have the amazing VNT, who is a celebrity stylist in the studio with us.
Oh, hi.
I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're most welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, so you're here, VNT.
I am.
And a lot of people may not know you because you keep yourself very
hidden.
Yes. But you are a celebrity stylist and you've been working for a number of years.
Yeah.
Doing this. So, let everyone know who VNT is. Like, who are you?
Well, I'm VNT. I started off with celebrity styling. It all started in the year of about 2010 upon graduation. I did study the degree property development and interior design, which I did plan to go on to do. And anyway, but I always loved fashion. Everybody knew I loved fashion from school to college.
Yes.
It was always about my style and how I expressed myself. So that's how my styling journey began, basically. New graduate, it's hard trying to find a job. Why don't I just work on my passion? And I just never looked back. So that was 2010 upon graduation. I started. And as I said, I didn't look back. So that's how the journey began. That's VNT. It's fashion style.
That's who you are.
That's it.
So you have this unique vintage style. I've been observing you on your social media pages, and you have a very unique vintage style. I mean, where does your inspiration, where does your fashion style come from?
My fashion style is quite eclectic. I wouldn't even say it comes from somewhere specific, but my eyes are just so visual. Like, they're almost like little cameras. I literally just see stuff and it just stays in my head. It stays in my head. It stays in my head. So I think a lot of my passion came through from vintage when I used to hang out at Brick Lane and stuff like that. So I used to always go down to Brick Lane, check into vintage shops and stuff like that, and little boutiques. Yeah, there are little designer boutiques around Brick Lane too. And I just always felt like I wanted to wear things nobody else wore. And vintage always guaranteed that, because you wouldn't get more than one or two of the same object or the same kind of garment. True. So I think that's where my love for vintage came on through, just the exclusivity and the uniqueness of certain pieces that you couldn't find on the high street.
So you said you studied property development and design. Interior.
Design for interiors.
So when you went to university, was it your plan to become an interior designer, work in the property industry?
Well, when I was really young, when I was a child, I actually wanted to be an architect. I loved art in school. I never pursued it in my actual chosen grades, chosen subjects. But I really loved art, and I loved building, I loved spaces. So I wanted to be an architect. But because I didn't pick certain subjects at that time, it didn't take me on to do that degree. So when I kind of found this degree, which was property development and interior design,
it's quite different.
It was perfect, actually, because I loved the decor and I loved styling, whether it's a human, whether it's a space. So I kind of thought, yes, that's great. And then of course we now need to know how to develop property. So it was like the perfect course leading off from architecture.
Interesting. So why fashion styling? Obviously you said that, your personal style, all this vintage stuff and all that, but I mean, why fashion styling as a career?
As a career, because it just came easy to me. I was just always either telling people where to buy stuff from, telling them how to put it together. Does this look cool? And I think people enjoyed and love the fact that I had no fear in what I wore.
Yeah.
I wore some crazy things.
Yeah. I've seen your stuff.
Some crazy outfits. And that's what I love about my style, because that's where I like to draw, you know, the energy from people to try something different.
Okay.
Because I have that eye, and I always want to try and influence something new into their final like outfit. So whether it be a pop of colour or print or a different kind of shape, I just love taking people out of their comfort zones, because I think we can all go and look at the Zara mannequin and wear what the Zara mannequin is wearing, but that's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's boring.
Wow, interesting. So when you first went into styling, was you self-employed? You know, was you doing freelance, or did you do any work experience for any brands? Have you ever done that before?
Yes, I did. When I started styling, I didn't start from the beginning of, as I said, I didn't know the business. No one ever knows the business when you're new. So the first thing I ever did was assist a stylist who was already out there. I think at this time, I can't remember how I came across her, but I think it was probably on Facebook or something. And I checked out her website, and I loved her work. And I literally, you know, dropped her an email and started assisting her. So I learned a lot from that job. I learned even about pulling clothes, like learning about even putting credits together, learning about pulling from PR companies. I learned a lot. So from there on, after assisting her, I just got onto it. I don't know. It just all fell together. I remember styling my first ever model, which was Nana, and it got published in
Nana
the Voice.
Entry?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it got published in the Voice newspaper. So that was great. That was literally my first gig ever.
I was going to ask you, who was the first person you ever styled?
Yeah, she was the first person I ever styled.
Really?
And then from then on, I then met makeup artists and hairstylists, and then we started, you know, kind of like shooting stuff together, photographers, and just shooting concepts. And then on, I went on to New African magazine, and then it just...
You must have been working really hard.
Yes. I remember the winters.
Because I know styling is a very, you know, it's a very fashion styling is a very competitive industry. So you must have been working like crazy.
I was working like crazy. Like sometimes I didn't even notice myself because it was crazy. My mum would just be like, "Why are you doing all of this? Carrying suitcases, lugging it up on, you know, the London transport and stuff like that." But I loved it. Like I just loved it. Even if I wasn't getting paid for it, I just loved it at that time. Yeah.
And how did your parents feel about?
Yeah, they've always been supportive. They know I love fashion.
Because obviously you went to do the property development stuff, and, you know, they must have been like, "Hey, my daughter."
Yeah.
And then you turn around and say, "You're going to be a stylist." I mean, it's quite...
Yeah, they knew I love fashion. They knew from the way I dressed. So they just knew that, this is VNT, this is it. Yeah, they knew. They were alright about it.
So who was your first high profile client, apart from Nana? Like, you know, as you started going along, like, who did you meet and you were like, wow, like, I'm doing this, like, I'm actually...
Do you know the moment that hit me? That hit me when I was styling for New African Woman magazine, and I got to style Shingai Shaniwa.
Oh, wow.
She was that light bulb moment, because I loved the noisettes when I was younger, like when I was growing up, and I loved her style. It was so unique, like the natural hair, the vibes, her beautiful black skin. Like what she wore, like she had a bit of vintage influence, so I loved her. So that light bulb moment came when I styled Shingai. Like totally, I was like, oh my god, I used to love your style, and now I'm actually putting clothes on you. This is amazing. Wow. So that was one of the moments. Okay,
if you've just tuned in, we're here with the amazing celebrity stylist VNT, and she's been telling us how, you know, she started out in the fashion industry in the UK. In the UK. We're going to talk about her going to Ghana next, and, you know, everything that happened there, because when you went to Ghana, your life kind of changed, didn't it? Like, you started doing other things, because in Ghana you can't just do one thing. You can't do one thing. I think I've got about 5 things going on in Ghana right now, like subconsciously, because you can't do one thing. It's not lucrative, you know, especially if you're a creative. You want to do something that actually pays the bills, but then you still want to follow your passion. So when I went to Ghana, I actually opened a boutique. That's the first one of the first things. Before you continue, I wanted to ask you why Ghana, because obviously you are from Ghana. Well, your heritage is Ghanaian. But, you know, fashion is so big; it's global. You could have went anywhere in the world. Yes, New York was on my map actually. New York was on my map, but it's New York. So why Ghana? Ghana because I actually loved Ghana. I started going Ghana early. Started going away for like Christmases and stuff like that, and really enjoying it with my friends. And I thought, you know, that vibe and that energy, I could live here. So then I actually took the leap of faith.
I actually became very ill, to be honest.
Okay.
We're not going to go into details,
Yeah.
but it pushed me to go to Ghana.
Okay.
The warmth and the heat and just
All that
the
stuff.
healing.
Yeah.
So I actually then went to Ghana, and I thought, let's do this. Like, I opened a boutique. I started off with the boutique first, and then later I got into TV. So then I now started doing like an entertainment show, then done a student show, then ended up doing my own kind of like fashion and lifestyle show.
Okay.
So yeah, Ghana was brilliant. Ghana was good.
So when you first let's talk about when you first went. Okay, you opened the boutique.
Yeah.
I mean, why? When you opened the boutique, when did you start doing the fashion styling? And I mean, how was you networking? How did you know you get your name out there? What was the steps that you know? What were your steps of getting yourself out there to draw in clients?
Yeah, I would have to rewind then, because when I was in London, I did actually style quite a few Ghanaian actresses.
Okay.
The likes of Jocelyn Dumas, Yvonne Okoro, Deborah Vanessa, who's an artist as well. So I think that then led me on to knowing some people when I actually got to Ghana.
Okay.
Because then
gave you that confidence to actually go.
Definitely, because I felt like I could do something there. I thought I could do more there, which led me on to working with Becca, the artist as well. Because I knew of her and stuff in London, but I didn't work with her in London. So when I went into Ghana, we done a couple of gigs, music videos, and photo shoots and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that started the movement of kind of like VNT and fashion in Ghana. And you know, people see it and it goes viral, and then you know, they want you to work with them. Then
they were bringing clients your way and stuff like that.
So then clients come your way, and it just spirals, and then it became more of not fashion styling, but maybe personal styling. And you know, finding clothes.
So what's the difference between fashion styling, personal styling, image consultancy? What's the difference? Because I always wonder, what's the difference?
You can actually literally do just one. But some people can dip in between because of what the client wants. So personal styling, of course, is actually just styling the person on probably a daily basis. Maybe even going into their social lives, going out to events and things like that, or maybe even corporate events, or just work, or their day-to-day life. Literally a pair of jeans, a t-shirt. You structure their wardrobe for them. Okay. Celebrity styling, of course, we see the celebrity out there and about. They're on red carpets, they're on the stage, they're doing shows, they're doing TV appearances and stuff like that. Now, image consultancy is where you actually give the figure, whether it be a celebrity or a normal person, you create their image for them. Okay. So maybe they're not confident, maybe they wear frumpy black clothes all the time, but you now, introduce colour into their wardrobe, or you now introduce different fabrics and structures into their wardrobes. So there's a breakdown of a lot of them. There's so many more other areas as well, of course. But I think in general, that's just a little gist of them all.
So you did a course in fashion, didn't you? No, not
that's
at all.
Why it just comes
no
from
course?
within. No,
wow.
It's passion. It's passion.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you actually, apart from the property development and design, I thought you actually studied fashion.
I done a little course actually. I learned how to sew and stuff like that. Made a little dress at the end of it.
But not an actual
not a
diploma,
degree,
nothing.
No,
wow.
No. Yeah.
Wow.
I taught myself everything probably I know as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So someone like me, if you was to, advise me on what type of stuff to wear, how what would you say? Because
you see, this question is it's not tricky, but I mean, everybody can take it into their own interpretation and sit down and say textbook things like, oh, you've got a pear shape.
Yeah, because this is what I was going to say.
Shape, and this looks good and that looks good. I don't really do textbook. I actually listen to the client. I want to know what you want to achieve at the end of your look. I will tell you what I personally think by working with other people looks good on your size or your frame. And then I'd go from there. I don't, textbook is great. I mean, but I think when you've got the eye and the passion for it, I don't think you need a textbook. Someone could shoot me in the foot about it, but that's just my personal
you're confident.
Opinion.
You're just doing your thing, and that's what makes you different.
Everyone has their view on how tasteful a look is. I mean, not long ago, some few weeks ago, we were talking about one of these supermodels wearing, a corset out to dinner or something, and it wasn't tasteful because she's 50. But if she felt great in that corset and she was out,
she wants to wear it,
and she wasn't overexposing her breast or anything, and she looked tasteful, it looked great. I don't think there should be barriers as to how you dress when you get older. Come on. there's a time and place for everything. You're not going to have your chest out, you know.
That's true.
At a corporate event, you know, and stuff like
Obviously.
that. You're going to have it out on holiday with your family with your
or friends, or if you're going out to dinner.
Yeah, or you might dress up nice on the red carpet or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, so I go back to saying what I'm saying before I digress. I think it's up to the person what they want to achieve. And obviously putting them in the most tasteful outfit they can be as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to you living in Ghana and your experiences.
Yeah.
But so obviously you're born and raised in the UK, but of Ghanaian heritage.
Yes.
So what difficulties did you face?
Difficulties.
You know, adapting to Ghana, because it's not like here.
Yeah.
And regardless of whether you had all these clients and you knew, you know, I'm going to go open a boutique and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, it's not that straightforward. So what were like the three main things that really frustrated you when you moved and, you know, you had to adapt to?
Straight up, I'm just going to go with Dumso. Like, Dumso was crazy when I was first in Ghana. This was just even like, let's just say 3, 4, 5 years ago. It was at its worst. Worst. That was one of the most frustrating things, because it's hot and the heat, like not being able to even have a fan to cool you down at night. It was crazy, because London is cold and our summers don't last that often. So the heat was a big deal. Dumso, common electricity was major. Secondly, internet. Like, I've always had an unlimited mobile phone from when I was like 18. So going to Ghana and not having internet at my hand's reach was driving me mad.
Now it's not that bad. It's still, you know, but it's a
cuts
lot
out.
better.
Yeah,
it's
the quality's not great like London, but I mean, it's better. Definitely better.
Yeah, it is better.
So, Dumso, internet, and finally, water. Yes, sometimes it would be scarce and they turn the tap off and you have to like literally
that's true. I even had that issue in hotels.
I mean, exactly.
Posh, nice 5-star hotels
run out
you
of
just
water.
switch the thing on, the water's not coming.
I mean, we've always had the tank, but sometimes you've actually got to start thinking about how to be civil with water use. You can't just be, you know, running a tap anyhow.
Exactly.
And I love to always get my car washed as well before I go out and stuff like that. So then you have to think, oh my gosh, all right, we're down to a tank, let's use the water wisely. So I say those three because they're almost alien to us Western, you know, raised children. Internet, light, water. We have them at our reach and at our disposal so much in our country. So those are the three things that were a bit of a culture shock apart from obviously their culture and people and the way they interact with you.
Okay, so you opened this boutique. You were doing the styling on the side, and then how did you break into TV? Into media?
It was kind of a random moment. A genius advised me that, okay, you're not from here, you don't really know people, you didn't go to school in Ghana, so you didn't really mingle with people. You know what? Why don't we get you on TV? So we literally set up from scratch. We built our own studio. We got our own equipment.
So it was your own production?
Yeah, it was our own production. It was. And then it just got put on TV. And, you know, we fought for it to get on TV. We worked up the ranks. We earned our spot on that TV. TV time. And, in the beginning, it was crazy. It was hard. People don't know who you are. You know, we had to go to every single gig we can kind of get to get our content, to do our pilot and stuff like that, and to network, you know. Sometimes celebrities like, they don't know who you are, so it's a bit funny. So we built our way up, and then little by little, did we know it, we came onto like major channels, and then our shows were aired live on those channels in Ghana.
Okay, so what was the show about? Like, what type of show was
our main entertainment show was TMG TV, which was just entertainment.
Okay. So was it a show or was it different shows?
It was, I hosted different shows, but it was under the production of our TMG TV house. Okay. Yeah. So TMG TV was the first baby entertainment.
You were working hard then, because I thought it was just one show.
We were working hard. No, it was like 3 shows. At first it was one show, then we bridged into, you know, students and lifestyle and you know, their kind of entertainment side of it. And then we branched into more of a beauty pageant kind of vibe as well, with like young teens and wanting to do like a kind of rewarding pageant that would, you know, help out young ladies.
So what pageant was that?
It's for Tertiary's Most Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, Tertiary's Most Beautiful, TMB for short. So we started with that. And then finally my baby is closest to my heart was Vienti's, which we filmed as well.
Okay.
And that was more directed into fashion. So we, you know, we share news and we share tips and stuff like that. So yeah, there was a lot of productions under one media house.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. It was good. Yeah.
Okay. So the fashion industry is very competitive, as we were saying before.
Yes.
But what's your unique selling point?
My unique selling point
as Vienti?
I think my unique selling point is the fact that my aim is not to be like anyone else. You know, my aim is for it to be unique. Vintage is untouchable. Like vintage is vintage. You can't change it. You can't.
It's forever, isn't it?
It's forever. That's what people don't understand. It's forever, and it's almost like a piece of history. You know, that you kind of revamp and you know you rewear it to suit your needs of today, and plus you know exclusivity as well, and color and print. I'm a fan of as well. So my signature is quite widespread.
So do you? So moving on to the next question, do you follow trends and patterns? Because most people that work in fashion, they do, and forecasting. Are you into all that stuff?
No, we can look at it because you know we always have to look at the textbook. It's like looking at Vogue. It's the Bible of fashion. But I don't think you gotta go with it. You haven't gotta go with it. It's just good to have the knowledge because you work with different kind of people. You work with different kind of clients. If I'm working for an upmarket client that wants to compete against what is out there, then yes, I'm going to have to go and look at forecasting. I'm going to go and have to look at what designers have released on the runways. I'm going to have to go and do all that kind of research.
All that stuff, yeah.
But I feel like when you're an individual and you are building your image, I don't feel like you need trends to dictate to you where you want to go.
Which is true. Which is very true. And I think now it's like that even more than ever.
Yes, which is what I love. I love. But you still do see the general structures. Like, you do still see the bloggers wear the two-piece suit to fashion week, and you do see them wearing, you know, pearl accessories in their hair, and you know the new thing now, which is like mules that are like 2 inches high, and kitten heels, which we all said we would never wear again in life.
I'm telling you,
but we're wearing it
exactly
again. You know, you
they're
see
comfortable.
people wearing it, because that's what's on trend, and that's what's paying them. They're paid to advertise what's on trend. So you know, we're at a kind of balance where people still taking trends. You know. So
do you go to all these fashion weeks? Do you travel abroad to go to international fashion weeks?
I actually don't. I did used to go a lot in London, but I don't travel abroad to go into any, but I will do. I'd love to go to Milan and Paris.
I heard Milan's really like the bomb right now.
It is
for fashion week.
It is, and of course the weather is way more lovely.
And in Ghana, there's a lot of fashion weeks now, isn't there?
There's a lot in Ghana.
Like everyone's just creating their own. You got Accra Fashion Week, you got Kumasi Fashion Week. I heard they're doing something in Volta region now. Like it's just spreading.
Yeah, Kumasi Fashion Week. Yeah, they've got it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Ghana Fashion Week, Ghana Men's Fashion Week. Yeah,
but it like generally in Africa, I feel like Ghana needs to catch up. Yeah. In terms of the fashion industry, because Nigeria, like, let's not even go there. They're like on their game.
They are.
And they take it very seriously, and you know they take business in fashion very seriously.
Very seriously.
Where I feel as in Ghana, it's not. Yeah. You know, there is even like in terms of styling, people want to be styled for free in Ghana still. Where in Nigeria, it's like a business.
It's a service.
It's a service. Exactly, it's a service.
People don't understand it's a service. Someone has dedicated years of their life into acquiring this knowledge to give to you. It's only right you pay them for it, as you would a doctor, as you would a nurse, as you would, you know, a dentist, as you would with any kind of tradesman.
Yes.
So that's the part where I think Ghana needs to catch up a bit. That we are creatives and our time and our knowledge is very valuable, and it's actually worth us getting paid for. So I do believe that's a factor in Ghana that does need to start
because you see
changing.
The photographers hustling.
You
know, the cameramen, the people they're working hard. You know, production behind the scenes, and they're not, you know, getting paid. You know, even the presenters, it's like.
It's hard work. There's a lot of independent things going on because of the fact that people are not being paid. And we don't want it to get like that. We want to eventually create a union so large, like London Fashion Week, that becomes a business twice a year.
Yeah.
You know, we know that in September and in February, people are employed and people are paid. It's, you know, it's creating opportunities for jobs.
Yeah.
So we should be working to get to this stage where we have that kind of fashion week on that crazy level that's sponsored by great people. And of course showing like fantastic designers. Yeah. We're almost there. Glitz is amazing.
Yeah, Glitz are doing
we
well.
have a few fashion weeks, you know, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. Yeah. We have some good things in Ghana. We just need to take it up a notch. Yeah.
So going back to you working in Ghana, you did the boutique. Yeah. You did the TV show. Yeah. What else did you do?
I did the TV show.
The TV shows.
TV shows, yes. I've started a couple of projects I'm not allowed to talk about yet. Okay. But that's ongoing. So yeah, watch this space. Yeah.
So what about the plus industry? Have you ever styled any? Have you ever had any plus size clients? And is it an area that you would venture into?
I definitely venture into it. I mean, the African body is beautiful. We have curves, we have size, we have shape. That's definitely something I'd love to go into. I mean, the majority of African women are not, you know, are not stick thin size zeros. Yeah. As opposed to, you know, the Western world where smaller sizes are deemed as normal. I mean, in Africa, we have shape, you know, so it's only right that a big majority of people need to also be catered to just as much as, you know, the normal woman slimmer as well. Yeah, definitely. It's something I'll definitely go into.
Okay. So with your vintage style, how was that accepted in Africa? Because in Ghana, because you know they're really heavily into designers and wearing designer clothes only, whereas, you know, your styling is more about affordable clothing and you know, vintage type stuff, which, you know, they would say like bend down boutique second, that's it, you know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, did you have that problem when you were trying to get your unique selling point, your style across when you were there, or did people get you?
People don't have to get you. I think this is the problem. Like, and sometimes I think I'd actually tone down my me because I just felt like I was too much, but I'm never too much. I just feel like you've just got to do what you're going to do, and those that appreciate it will appreciate it. Yeah, that's true. And I think that's what encouraged me more and pushed me more to do more of me, because I don't want to be like everyone else anyway. And I don't, you know, designers to me don't portray, not that they don't portray fashion, but I think real fashion and personal style doesn't come from a label, and it doesn't come from a forecast, and it doesn't come from a trend. It comes from what's within and what feelings you kind of, you know, send out to people when they see what you're wearing. I think I don't really believe in trends and labels.
That's what I love about you. You're just you're different. You know?
I just got to do me. Like literally coming here today, I just thought, oh, what am I going to wear today? And I just saw this top. I was like, oh, I love the top. Yeah, you know, a little skirt to tone it down a bit, because you know.
And the shoes are just like a completely different color. I wouldn't do something like this. I would love to just be able to wear like red shoes, a purple top.
See, I've got hints of red. I always do connect outfits, just little details.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even pick that up. You know, I'd be like, oh, it has to be gold, or it has to be, you know what I mean, like.
Match and stuff like that.
But I suppose that's the gift that you have that I don't have. I mean.
So everyone has pay me for it.
Everyone has their gift. I need a stylist actually. So
no problem. We can do something.
Definitely. So if you've just tuned in, or if you just tuned in, you've been watching. We're here with the lovely Vienti, who is a celebrity fashion stylist, and I say celebrity because she's worked with so many here and also in Ghana. If you've been watching, we've been talking to her about her life. You know, how she got into fashion, and you know where she is now. And, you know, we're about to talk about where she's going. So, Vienti, you've told us about, you know, your whole, from when you were a child and, you know, what you studied at uni, going into this career, fashion styling, personal styling, image consultancy. But obviously you did study a bit of interior design.
I did.
And I know you're not allowed to talk about what's going on, but I know that you're diversifying. So
yes.
Can we talk a little bit about how you're diversifying? Or
we can. I mean, we can graze the top of it. I mean, so my degree was property development and interior design. Yeah. And like I said, I loved architecture. Yes. So it was always kind of the bridge of what I kind of, you know, didn't get from architecture. Yeah. But property development is something that is booming across the world. And of course, with Ghana as well, you know, we are building more, and we want to almost kind of like upgrade our city, and there's massive developments going around in Ghana.
In everything, in every industry.
In every single industry.
In Ghana, anything can be a business.
Anything.
Like literally.
Yeah, literally. So, well, let's just say, I mean, I'll be doing a lot of interior design out there. I'm, you know, connecting and collaborating with some property developers. Okay. Hopefully one day I'm one big major lady one myself.
You will be.
That is the final one of the final pots, and a lot of things I have in my dreams and vision boards. But yeah, it's definitely got to do with design still, so interior styling and such, and just working with more kind of property development companies, and we're going to be collaborating on a lot of buildings, residential buildings and stuff like that.
So right now you're here. For now you're here in the UK.
Yeah, I'm here in the UK.
And you know, you have these services to provide. So where can people find you on social media?
Okay, so
where can people find you and see your work? You know, just let everyone know about where.
All right, so my property stuff is in the making. So the website is being built as we talk. But generally, you can follow me on all social media platforms. So Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. You can follow me on VNT at VNT. VIENNTY, and on Facebook you can find me on VNT, so VNT twice.
Okay.
And my website is www.vnt.com. So you can follow me on there, come and have a peep at my blog and things like that. So that's where I kind of like do my little daily posts. But yes, Instagram is the most kind of like buzzing platform for me. Yeah. So I'm definitely a bit more fluent on Instagram. Yeah.
So if people slip into your DM or, you know, want to ask you a question about style or something, you know.
They can slide into my DM for business.
She's friendly, guys. She's very lovely. She's a lovely person.
Any way which I can help, I'm there.
It's been lovely talking to you. It's been short, but it's been very, you know, informative.
Great.
You know, and people out there, you know, those of you that are watching on Omega Live TV know about VNT now. She's been out there for a very long time.
Yeah, getting old, isn't I?
we're all getting old. But yes, thank you for watching. You've been watching Gold Diggers. And we did start late, so like I said, we had to make it short and sweet. I just want to say thank you to all my sponsors and everyone that supports Gold Diggers and Omega Live TV. And like I said, Omega Live TV is powered by Omega House Multimedia Company. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, which is Omega Live TV, and here on Facebook, Omega Live TV, for all updates throughout the week on all our various shows. So yes, it's getting late, so we've got to go home now. But thank you for watching, guys. Until next week, we're going to be back here at 8 p.m. sharp, and I'm your host, Miss New Love.